All right, we go to the big Saturday now. The rest of the games, the Big 12 championship game, Baylor Bears, Oklahoma State Cowboys. Right now in this one, we've got Oklahoma State around a 5.5, actually down to 4 now in most spots as home favorites. So we've seen some movement here toward Baylor. The total 46.5, total's gone down as well going into this game. I got to admit, I think the money move on Baylor makes some sense. And this is someone that's loved Oklahoma State all year, but Baylor can match Oklahoma State defensively, or at least come very close. I mean, Baylor's defense has been good. And I was impressed, believe it or not, with Baylor last weekend. Not the greatest of spots. A lot of pressure to make sure they win that game to ensure their participation in the Big 12 championship game. And yeah, they escaped 27-24, but they also didn't have Jerry Bohannon at quarterback in that game. It was the backup quarterback, Blake Shapen, in the game there for Baylor. And yet he comes in and he has a pretty solid game, 20 of 34,
Yeah.
254 through the air, 2 touchdowns. They ran the football. Abram Smith was great on the ground for Baylor. And the defense gave up a few plays to Texas Tech, but they did what they did. They got the stops when they needed them at the key moments of the game and held Donovan Smith, the quarterback for Texas Tech, in check. I think this is a close game, down to the wire, 2 good defenses. So anytime you can get more than a field goal in what I think is going to be a close game, and I'll say this about the Cowboys, Conor, some leakiness with their defense against Oklahoma. Now, I know Oklahoma can move the ball. They've got great talent on offense, Caleb Williams, Kennedy Brooks, good receiving core. But still, that was the first time all year we've seen Mike Gundy's defense look a little ordinary, look a little average in that game in Bedlam on Saturday. So we'll see how they fare here. Again, will Bohannon be ready to go at quarterback for Baylor? That remains to be seen. He's day to day. They'll monitor his progress throughout the week. That was the latest update from Dave Aranda, the head coach for the Bears. So we'll keep an eye on that. But early in the week, Conor, I'm leaning toward taking the points. And I find in these Big 12 title games, the underdog is cashed more often than not in recent years. So I'm leaning Baylor right now. Conor, what are your thoughts? Baylor, Oklahoma State.
Yeah, I think Bohannon's a big key here. I know the backup that he played well. I mean, I watched the whole second half. I needed that missed field goal for the under. So there at the end there, 51.5. It's 51. But he played well. The defense did well, just enough. You're right. Oklahoma moved it on him, in spots. But I still think Oklahoma State's the better team here all around. But I laying 5 points. You talk about it in these conference games. I don't think it's going to be easy. But I think both defenses are where it's at in this game, especially if Bohannon isn't in there. At Baylor at times has struggled moving the ball. Some games they've looked really good. Bohannon's been great, and when he struggled a little bit, they've had some tough ones. This one's difficult for me. If I know he's in, I kind of lean Baylor. I wish I was getting a touchdown with Baylor. When I really think about it, I would have loved it. So it's just a lean with me here with the points with them.
Yeah, it's 5 actually. I got it wrong. It's 4.
5.
My betting odds screen has been acting up all day, but it's -5 now with Oklahoma State in this game. So I still like Baylor with the points. Now they lost to Baylor earlier, or to Oklahoma State earlier this year in the regular season meeting, 24-14. But again, you got an avenging team getting points. And look, Oklahoma State beat Oklahoma for the first time in ages in Bedlam on Saturday night. That's going to be a tricky game to get yourself revved back. And no, you should be revved up. It's a championship game. It's a chance to maybe be on the outside, at least give yourself a puncher's chance at the playoffs if some chaos happens this upcoming week if you're Oklahoma State and you win this game. But still, to beat Oklahoma, it was an emotional game down to the wire. Can you pump yourself back up again and play just as well a week later against a very good team like Baylor and a very good defense? That's going to be the big question mark. And Spencer Sanders too, who's improved, but now one of the better defenses he's played. So there's some things to be concerned about with laying 5, in my opinion, here with Oklahoma State in this one. But it's a good game. We'll see how it plays out